Hello, hello, hello. This is Making Comics and Art, episode 339. Welcome, welcome. We are making comics and art. Yes, indeed. Love it. So, it's been a little while. If you don't already know, please like this video, comment below this video if you're watching it later, and subscribe if you haven't already. I have a bunch of new subscribers that I'm very thankful for. So yeah, it's been a little while. Why is there cat hair everywhere? So, okay, before we get into the topic of the episode, this is Hawk in New York, issue 7. This is page 14, jumping around as I do sometimes. You're working. Getting some ink on my brush. So it's a rainy day here, but I hope all of you are doing well. So I'm just looking over the page as before I dive in. I'll just randomly start anywhere. So yeah, just to catch up a little, I did a short I uploaded yesterday, talking about my Studio Synergy playlist. I believe what I failed to mention in the video is that the numbering of everything was off. So I actually went and put not all, but most. I think I'm one video off. I put them all in sequence. You know, it's 68 videos, so I put them in sequence. You know, from 1, 2, 3, 4, and on and on and on. Because they were all over the place. I don't know why. It's usually automatic, but sometimes you got to do it manually. So for whatever reason, they were all out of sequence. Hey, it's Jason. Swing by and say yo. I'm glad to always have you swing by. So yeah, that took me quite a while. And I noticed when I updated and put everything in sequence, that the numbering was off. So I made sure to renumber everything so that it's all correct now. It's all the maintenance of YouTube that you do behind the scenes. It's fun, but time consuming. So, yeah, I recommend checking out the Studio Synergy playlist. It's quite a good show, if I do say so. You know, it's random. Like, there's great episodes, there's good episodes, there's nonsense episodes. A lot of laughs on some of them. But years of work here on YouTube. I wanted to mention, okay, I'm all over the place. So yeah, this is Talk New York that I'm working on, inking over the creator or writer artist, Randy Bishop. Timebound is his comic company, and his link is down below in the description box. If you want to go check out, you can buy issues, and I think he has prints and other extras in his store. There's that's Moo Moo in the background, who's snuffly. She's congested. I'm giving her some medicine. She's one of the stray cats in my area. For some reason, she loves sitting on the ground behind me, as long as it's not in my face. So yeah, Randy, yeah, he's an independent artist, not necessarily used to having an inker. So he not used to doing super tight pencils. But I think he is quite good. I like his work. You know, it needs to be tightened up a little bit. But I'm having fun working on his book. The first time around was over a different artist, much different style. This time is around Randy. And this past month hasn't been very productive for me. It's just a lot of nonsense and life and whatever. We've had 3 snowstorms. I shared some of that experience in shorts. You want to go check that out. We didn't lose electricity, which is good. There was a fear of that happening. Yeah, lots of weather, lots of cold weather. Hey, Pete, I'm just now in. I will have to go back and watch. Hey, Landon. No problem, man. If you watch me live, if you watch me after the fact, I don't mind. If you pop in, just say hello. A lot of my friends do. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So because because Randy hasn't worked with an inker per se, the pencils are loose-ish. And figuring out while I ink it, exactly where I want to throw down weights. It's sort of like I find my way along the way. Which is usually the case anyway, even if it's kind of mapped out. I want to throw in thick lines, I want to throw in thin lines. Diversity. It's not that I go in with a set goal in mind. It's finding what the lines need along the way, which is usually the case. Yeah, so I'm using a brush, but I can easily do a bunch of this with quill. But because it isn't as tightly penciled as some other projects I have worked on, going with a brush is just a little easier, because I could have a tendency with a quill to do a lot of tiny work, get too crazy with the detail if I'm not careful. It's definitely, Randy's work is detailed, but not overly so. All right. Let's see. Hey. Why are you quitting social media in submission? I'll get to that. Mike, hey. Welcome. Looks great. That's Randy's fault. I barely started this page. So I will get to the social media topic soon. So my inking approach on this is like, there's two different ways I like to do it. Because I really like a lot of what Randy is putting down. Sometimes I go ultra clean and try not to add too much. Because it could become kind of muddy if I go in too heavy. But sometimes that could be a little too stale and boring. So I mix it up a bit. The other way is, yeah, if it's too stale, I'll go in and try to really flesh it out and punch it up, add some shadows. And let's see if I do. What's happening with my brush? The point on my brush is challenging me today. All right. So yeah, social media, why I named the title that today. It seems like half the population of the internet is up in arms. I like this platform. I hate this platform. I'm leaving this platform. So it's more a topic of conversation than me leaving social media. I'm of the mindset that, like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, they had some heydays. That are clearly not today. Sorry, I'm focusing on yeah, a lot of people were not pleased with their posts getting seen on Facebook, the environment of Twitter, lots of people moving towards blue sky. It seems like more and more people are just upset about, like the Facebook timeline. It's like if you just scroll through that, you're getting a lot more ads than you used to. You're not seeing all your friends' posts. I know it becomes less and less about current posts. I go through the timeline and I see posts that are 2, 3, 5 days ago, even further back. It doesn't give you current posts. It's really weird. It's like in the not too long ago days of Facebook, you go through the feed and everything was current. Nowadays, it's like if you want to see current posts, you kind of have to just go to people's individual pages or profiles, and it's kind of ridiculous. But so my thinking is this: like, it's always whatever you're using it for, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, yada, 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 Casa, Blue Sky, Threads, whatever. Just use it to the best of your advantage, you know, and don't sweat it too much, because in 6 months it will be different again. Is my experience. Let's see. A lot of lines here. Yeah, you know, like, it's definitely is my feeling too, where, you know, like Facebook isn't what it used to be, and Instagram is a bunch of reels now and not people posting artwork. But, you know, it's like, why are you there? Like, I'm on Instagram because it's a great place to share. You know, it's like, I don't got a tremendous amount of followers there, a couple of thousand, 2,000 and something. You know, I know people with 10,000 and people with more than 50,000. I never figured it out enough to get those kind of numbers. But, you know, every little bit you share everywhere helps. You know, I have specific things I'm doing with my Instagram right now, and as well as, you know, what I'm doing here on my YouTube is different than what I do on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I know a lot of people share the same stuff across all their sites and social platforms that they are on. And that's well and good. All this here, okay. Yeah, my philosophy is I'll focus more on my YouTube, because in the end, you know, YouTube can potentially make me money, as opposed to, you know, I could post to Facebook for 40 years and never make a dime, but YouTube, you know, I can get monetized. So it's definitely, you know, be more aggressive on YouTube. But I'm not planning on, me personally, I'm not planning on leaving Facebook, because, you know, it sucks compared to what it used to be, or it's everybody's gotten more political, or, you know, like, because Mark Zuckerberg buys Coke and not Pepsi, or, you know, for no reason or every reason. I'm there, you know, I'm there specifically on Facebook because I've connected with so many people I know in the business and friends, and, you know, so I'm never going to get rid of my account. I'm never going to stop posting there, because it you know, my posts reach certain people that they won't reach on other platforms. So, you know, I know people are up in arms and upset, and, you know, but until it, like, until Facebook blows up, I think I'll be on it, you know. And that's the same with YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, and everywhere. You know, I might use it less because it's not as effective at times. And it's just constantly changing. Whatever it is today, it could be something else entirely tomorrow, or, you know, yeah, my attitude is that, bottom line, all these sites, all these social networks are effective. And I'm conducting a business here, you know, and I'm part of communities of people creating comics and making art. And to me, that, you know, that will always exist. Now, am I planning on spending a lot of time on Facebook or Instagram or what have you? Hopefully less and less. I say that because I, you know, want to focus more on the work and not trying to make something that's out of my control better or worse or whatever. It's like, I don't control Facebook, you know, and people's recommendations is you get your own website and you control that. And, you know, I'll do that in time. It's always been in my plan to have my own website, but, you know, I'll use what's free now until I'm making some major bucks. It will do me just fine. All right, what do we got? Yeah. You know, it's definitely in recent times, you know, the sites, the social networks have gotten more political, and yeah, there's plenty of stuff that I don't care about and don't want to see. But you know, you're gonna find those people everywhere. You know, I want to be inspired by people making comics and people making art and seeing the art. And, you know, most of the discussions are like, let's face it, discussing anything online, you just you're just putting yourself out there to be yelled at by somebody eventually. You have to drive your own traffic to your website, though. There's little to no existing foot traffic there. Yeah, true. But it depends what your business is and how you're running your business. There's different ways, you know, even if, you know, freelance is such a general term, but there's so many ways in which to run a business, a freelance business, differently. You know, like I could just avoid all socials if I choose to, and simply get inking gigs, and won't have to deal with any of these sites at all. But, you know, I don't run my business that way. I did years ago before computers. And that was probably more effective than what's happening now, but boom, 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 boom. All right. So one of the things that Randy does is, since this is a black and white book, he goes in with grays afterwards. So subtle little things I might leave open for him to just throw some gray wash or whatever. There's a lot of little detail that I'll probably want to go in with quill. I just want to work with the brush right now. So I set up the live stream with enough time for me to doing some other work before I went live. And I was thinking, I'm hungry. Why am I always hungry when I want to stream? So, I'll just do this. Okay. So this flag, I could do it pure white checker, black and white checkers. Might give it a little halo line. Figuring it out as I go, as I do. All these cat hairs. Get off my brush, cat hair. So yeah, I guess that has to do with recent months of my work. Like this past month has not been a good one. Always trying to figure out a better way to go. Since I got so many projects, the downside is it's too much work on my plate. But everybody's got different schedules, and every project is running at a different pace. But everything, like, what was it? August, September, I lined up the perfect workload that would be if anything, if the pace of any of those projects went well, but they haven't. So it's been a challenge. I had hoped to get this book done this month, and I'm far from that. if anything, I did spend time to figure out exactly what pages I have, what pages I inked, what pages I already printed out. And then I went through my files, which took a lot of work. I had like three different folders for issue 7 pencil files for whatever reason. Well, that was back when I knew I wasn't inking the whole issue, and Randy wanted me to ink specific pages. But now I'm, inking the whole thing. So I went through all the files, put them all into one folder, had to figure out doubles and everything, and rename half the files. Playing with files. Anyway, I sorted all that out. I didn't count, but I do have all the pages not printed that I have to print out. But I already have enough printed out for me to just work on for quite some time. But yeah, I gotta put more time into working on the book I'll be penciling and inking, which I'm thinking of. It's a book called Icebox. I'm co-writing with somebody else, a publisher. Icebox is going to be a cyberpunk story, and I got a couple of pages to that pencils, so I'm thinking of inking that and throwing up videos on my Patreon page. So, and I'll have that something to share at a later date when we decide when we're going to is that okay, that's the rest of the flag. Yeah, when we're going to start promoting it, I definitely want to have what we need for the Kickstarter to before we go live. But it's not a bad idea to have a website. It makes you look more professional, and there's more thing you can set up and run your own business thing on. Yeah, it's smart. If you have customers that have a website, if you're sending work to publishers, you want to get work from publishers, you can just send them to your website. And yeah, definitely make it look more professional. Lennon says, I feel that I have lost my passion for creating visual art. I hope it's everything, but it's the way I feel right now. Have you ever felt that way? What are your thoughts on this? Yep. Can't go 30 plus years in working in art and not feel that. It's usually a sign of burnout. There's different levels of burnout, but one basic easy way to describe it is you just overworked, and you easily lose your passion for something if you're just wiped out. Sometimes it's not even like burnout in that way, but you need to have more life in your life. You need to spend time with other hobbies or things you like, or just more times with friends and family. I hate when I lose my passion for this. And that's something I face currently because, yeah, I've been saying it for a long time. I have too much work. It's too all over the place. I finished essentially my work on 2 different books. Specifically to cut down my workload. But I still have another couple to get through before I can really have a schedule that is kind of tame, something I can work with. Yeah, it's important to know yourself and know when to work hard and when to step away. I have taken some time off this past month because it's been difficult of late. But hopefully I'll make some breakthroughs and get through the hard parts. But yeah, sometimes you need a break, you need time away, you need to rest, you need to sleep better and take evenings and weekends off if possible. It's definitely, whenever I had a day job to add to my income, like when I wasn't making enough, specifically just working on comics alone, I would usually get a physical job because there's nothing like working on art. You need something very counter to refresh yourself. And I find that, me being physical is a way to counteract it. Like having a physical day job, where with a physical day job, I can go 12, 18-hour days. And it's almost no thing, to do the same while making art. Art is a mental exercise. It really takes it out of you. It's like every time I lay down my brush, my pencil, my quill, my whatever, there's like 10 different decisions I'm making. So while to the visual eye of somebody watching you, it looks easy, it's really, it really exhausts you. So you got to be aware of your energy levels. So hopefully, you can get some rest and spend a weekend just hanging out with friends. Go to a concert, play some pool, go bowling, go swimming. Activities, whatever you do. And hopefully, when you get back to your art, you're refreshed. Go to a museum. Maybe be inspired by artists you don't know, or sculptors, or painters, or whatever. Look at different art, different crafts. It's much like social media. It just in and of itself, it's like all these people complaining and bitching about all the sites currently. It's like, don't rely on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and blah 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 to give you what you need. I mean, all of it is just extra. For me, it's like, it's about the work in the end. I want to promote it. I want to interact with friends and fans. But if you're following too much social media, that will, it distracts your brain. Really, like, it's so easy to get lost in it. It's designed that way. But if you use it a little here and there, and use it effectively to promote and to put your work and your thoughts out there, you should use social media. Don't let it use you, which is really the bottom line. Like, use it as a tool. Use it as you would a brush. Use it. Don't let it use you. I'm making a promise to myself, because it hasn't been a great month, which means it hasn't been highly productive, and I feel like I'm chasing the wrong thing all the time. So I'm not complaining about too much work, but it is beyond where I'm most effective. So, but I'm just putting in the work, putting in the time, putting in, the effort. So I can make progress going forward, and eventually get to a place where I'm working on only a couple of different things, where I can be a lot more focused and a lot more effective. What was I thinking? I was thinking something. Somebody posting about Jack Kirby, and I was thinking, what was I thinking? Something like, if Jack Kirby was working now in comics, what would he specifically do to be more focused, and would he waste his time? You know, I'm sure somebody like Jack, you know, even though he was kind of a head down, work all day kind of guy, I'm sure he had things to say, and he would use social media to say those things, but he wouldn't let social media distract him from getting a ton of work done. I saw a drawing of his. That was one of the things I saw. It was a drawing he did when he was 14. 14. And it was probably better than a lot of his comic work. Because the difference between a drawing and a comic page is you gotta make a comic essentially in a month, you know, with your pencil ink or colors, whatever. That's individually, that's the time allotted. But a drawing you could take forever. you don't have to churn it out in a day. But he was a fantastic artist when he was really young. I was blown away. Something I didn't know previously, I guess. What should I rely on to give me what I need? Meaning, to find your passion again? It'd be more specific, Landon. I mean, you know, you best. What specifically, lay it out. What specifically do you want at this point in time? And maybe we can help you. Myself and the others in the chat. Hey, oh, new artists. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. So who's the new artist? Are you the new artist, or are you talking about me? Since you're new to me. And welcome, and be sure to subscribe. I plan to be more active again. This channel, it's not the most consistent, but I'm going to try to be more consistent coming up. So if you're just joining, this isn't my artwork. This is Randy Bishop and his book, Hawk in New York. So it's his pencils. I print them out in red line because I like red line better than blue line. My own invention. Perhaps I should trademark it. Yeah, and I'm just sort of tightening it up, you know, randomly jumping to little bits and seeing, working on it and watching it take shape and seeing where I should punch it up, and you know. I always like that about inking, and you know, I've worked on so many different artists. I've gotten everything from super tight pencils to barely breakdowns. You know, for Marvel, I did some finishes over some artists because, you know, Marvel is a machine, and they threw me a lot of, you know, I was working up in the X-Men office. They threw me a lot of work that needed to be done overnight. I'm not necessarily a fast inker, but a lot of what I got from Marvel is rush jobs anyway. But it was great to experience that many artists, especially a lot of the X-Men artists. I was thrilled to work on. You know, I kind of feel that like I learn something from every artist I work on over. You know, essentially every day you wake up and you work on art, then it's all experience. It's all learning. You know, I haven't nailed down my work to where I know exactly what to do in every scenario, but I think I'm the type of inker where I like to be open. I don't necessarily have a very heavy, hard line kind of style and approach with my inking. You know, some inkers are heavier, where you see more of their work in the final art than you do the penciler. Like Kevin Nolan was one. You know, if Kevin Nolan inked something, you knew it was his work. Tom Palmer was another one. Super heavy inker. Loved his work, but he wasn't always good on everybody. Yeah, I don't think you could always tell it's my inks over certain artists. But I like the pencils to speak more than I'm worried about my ego. There we go. And then you say we shouldn't rely on social media to give you what you need. So it was okay. Well, I mean, you know, social media, what is it? It's connection. So if your priority is connection, you can direct message people at any time. You know, I know, like, when I'm not streaming or whatever, like when I'm just inking offline, I go to YouTube a lot and watch a lot of videos by comic artists, and that gives me what I need. It's inspiration. It's seeing how others do it. It's seeing how others run their business, how they make their art. You know, that gives me a lot, you know. I mean, I do music, I do podcasts, but I also watch a lot of creators. Sometimes more than others, but you know, I mean, sometimes silence works too. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm on social media for connection. I wasn't on, you know, I didn't come online as a business. Initially, you know, way back in the day, I was on MySpace, but that was strictly to meet women. So that was connection too, but in a different way. And I'm still doing that today. But but yeah, I mean, I do a lot of hangouts with friends that aren't live and in public. I mentioned, I updated and cleaned up my Studio Synergy playlist. It's kind of like a Studio Synergy hangout, but offline. And I enjoy those because people are more open to speaking their mind or what things are going on without fear of public humiliation or talking about people behind their back on in a stream isn't cool. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's all about connection with your peers and your friends and your fans, and obviously, I'm trying to run a business, so if I can make a sale throughout the week, if I can, tell somebody about a book I'm working on that hasn't heard me mention it previously, I mean, I'm not out and out promoting anything right now other than working on a lot of different stuff, and I'll be doing a lot more promotion once things become crowdfunders and then I'll have to really get into a kind of a marketing stance. But yeah, like I mentioned, like working on Icebox, which I'll be penciling and inking. That I'll be promoting more heavily if I'm able to actually get on a schedule with that. The problem with working on too many projects is I'm pulled in 100 different directions at times. Too many people communicating with me and what needs to be done, blah, blah, blah. But I hope to do that. What I'll probably do is finish up here and grab something to eat, and then I'll make a video for my Patreon. So yes, I'll mention again, if you haven't liked this video, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't, become a patron to really support me. It's only a few bucks a month for all that I do. And yeah, there'll be more stuff on my Patreon in the future that I'll be able to promote directly. So Landon says, are you still using MySpace to meet women? I think there is a version of MySpace still up. Last time I was there, it was kind of a music site, like Spotify, as if it was Facebook, but nowhere near as good. Yeah, it's crazy. So I have to decide on the flag if I just want to fill these in black or do some sort of outline. I think that outline I'll do will be mostly outside of it. Like here, I won't have to do any outline. Yeah, maybe it's not necessary. It's, the more I'm picturing it filled in black, and yeah, it probably won't need to do multiple outlines. Halos, as a lot of people call them. Can't believe the whole time I've been streaming, it's been raining the whole time. It's supposed to rain into the evening, I think, until midnight or 1 a.m. or something. And then tomorrow will be nice again. I think in the 60s. It's just crazy. Hasn't been that warm in a long time. All right, well, there's plenty left to do, but I got into some of it. Thank you all for watching and checking out. Chatting with you, Peter. Peace out. Yep. It must be the place for music today. Way different than when Tom had it. And that's very, very true. I think Tom walked away with a good sized bank. I don't think he's troubled by it. But yeah, those are way different days back when. But yeah, so you know, the sort of final thought on social media is that it's useful. It's useful as hell. I think people should relax more, because it seems more and more people are complaining about this site or that site or whatever. But just relax and don't let it consume your life. Use it to your advantage, and don't sweat it as much. You'll never be in charge of these companies. It will never be run exactly how you want it to be run. So just do what you can on them. If you're making products like comics or prints or music or paintings or whatever, stickers, blah blah blah, use it to promote yourself. But don't get bummed out because it's not, there's too many ads, there's too many people talking politics, there's too many. Well, stop wasting your time on social media in that way, and use it for your business, and then walk away and get some work done. Until then, thank you for checking me out. I hope to do this again tomorrow. I do want to take weekends off, so I don't think I'll be streaming the weekend, but hopefully I'll get in 5 days worth next week, and so on and so forth going forward. So yeah, have a good day. Keep making comics, keep making art, and go hug a friend, because I'm sure they'll love it.